Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour, your source for news, talk, and uncensored commentary here on Lone Star Community Radio. I'm your host, Douglas B. Dangerous Dan is out with the kitty cooties today, so you just get me. As always, you can listen to us live the first Tuesday of every month on VeteransAir.us and on Conroe's very own FM 106.1 and 104.5. As always, a little housekeeping before we get started today. You can contact Veterans Air through the website at www.VeteransAir.us or leave us a message, or better yet, you can text us in the studio on our Google phone, 936-344-3083. On today's show, we're going to be talking about how art and how that helps veterans, both young and old. And in the studio with us today, we have Karen Morris from the Woodlands ART League, and Michael Reynolds is the director of VeteransAir.us. He's on the phone calling in from Houston. And we also have Kelly Batterson from the Woodlands Art Council. Hi, Kelly. Karen, and welcome to the show. Let's see, before I introduce my guests, we need to do a veteran sick call, bring you all up to speed on what's happening with some of our veterans out there. Last show, I was down in Corpus Christi taking care of the Apex Predator posse because DV Don Tanya had fallen and broken another hip. Well, DV Tanya is out of the hospital in rehab, and she's PTing at home with 2 replaced hips. She's moving around strong, and she's making us proud. Way to go, Tanya. DV Diana Marie. As you know, they released her from care up in Seattle, and they moved to Walton Beach, Florida, for the warmth and the location. And DV Tanya Marie says this, and I quote, "We moved to Florida for the beach and the warmth. Where the hell is my warmth?" It's not coming anytime soon, sweetie, so just hang with us. Okay, so on to the intros. I need to put my headphones on so I can hear Mike, can't I? That's right. Look at that. I am on it today. Let's introduce briefly Kelly from the Woodlands Art League. I'm going to mess up you guys what you do each time. Kelly, tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Douglas. I'm Kelly Batterson. I'm the festival director for the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival. The Woodlands Waterway Art Festival is produced by the Woodlands Arts Council. So the proceeds from our event help with cultural education and art throughout the year that we do for different organizations and helping children and seniors throughout the community.
So you're going to oversee all the stuff we're talking about today.
I am, yes. Yes, I am.
And Karen?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Tell us about yourself and what it is you do.
Well, I am from the Woodlands Art League, and the Woodlands Art League began in 1981. And so we've been around a long time, and our artists enjoy working with nonprofits and also children and seniors. So we were looking for a project that would allow us to work with vets, and this Warriors in Art project came up, and we just love it. Our artists are very enthused.
Well, that's wonderful. We're going to talk about this festival that's coming up in April, right? The 13th and 14th?
April 13th and 14th, yes.
And how this involves veterans. And on the phone today with us, we have Michael Reynolds. He's the executive director of Warriors in Art. Mike, are you there?
I am here. How are you?
How you doing, Mike? Welcome to the show.
Good.
Tell us briefly about yourself and about your organization.
Oh man. Well, I'm a retired Marine.
It's okay. We'll still let you on the show.
Yeah, right. keep the edit button. You hover right over there. So I medically retired in 2017. I did multiple combat deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, and essentially got into this transition stage, and which I think we find ourselves in for our entire lives after service. It's not really a measurable transition, but started looking for opportunities to continue to serve. I think that was a big identity issue for me was, hey, I'm not in the military anymore. How do I continue to be of service? So I worked with some nonprofits here in Houston, just doing some community outreach and mentorship to young people. And I noticed that there was not a specific organization that was doing art education for veterans. And so art was a big part of my recovery from injury. when I was injured in Afghanistan. So I started to look at how we could integrate that into services for veterans in the Houston area. So, I mean, that's the 1,000-foot view. I'm sure you have other questions, and I can kind of dig in further, with those.
That kind of makes sense. You're a Marine, and as everybody knows, Marines use Crayola
That's
for
right.
art. So that's great. So the ladies over here are going, does he really say that to other Marines? Yes. This is the way veterans talk to each other. It's
Sometimes we eat the crayons too.
Sometimes
we
you
eat
eat
the crayons.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to know that they are now non-toxic.
That's
So
right.
it makes a
That's
good
right.
snack. So you came up with this idea of how through art you can help veterans, and you formed a nonprofit. Nonprofit is called Warriors in Art, and you have a website, right? WarriorsInArt.org. I've been there. It's coming along
Correct.
very nicely.
We're getting there.
And this was new to me because I've never heard of your organization. And Veterans Air, we try to stay on top of what's happening in the veteran community here in Montgomery County. So Liz called me. Liz, hey, thanks a lot for this tip. I really appreciate it. Liz called me and she says, hey, come on down to the Woodlands Art League, and you got to meet this guy and see what they're doing. So what does Warriors in Art do for veterans? What's your purpose? What's your mission statement, Marine?
Okay, so first of all, I have to, I'm a semantical, I focus on words. So I have to tell you, I didn't develop this, art, helping veterans. Art really helped me. So somebody else laid this out for me in recovery, and just when I got to the veteran space, I realized that it was a gap in care for our community. So I don't want to take any credit for that, but certainly putting this together is has been my focus. Our mission statement is to enrich veteran lives through artful expression. And I hope that is sufficiently vague for you. And it's intentionally vague because I'm not sure that I want to limit how we use art as I call it a language equalizer for veterans to tell their stories to the community around them. We're doing that through education, where we're hosting 6-month drawing and painting programs for veterans. We're doing that through community art projects. We just finished a large-scale mural in East Downtown at a VSO. And we're also doing other community outreach, just like we're doing with the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival, where we are getting veteran story through art as a vehicle to other civilian artists and the civilian community, because reintegration and assimilation is kind of the most important part of getting veterans back on track, I think.
And I totally agree with you. I want to point out to my listeners out there, all three of you, that when we're talking about art here, we're not just talking about Crayola crayons and coloring in a coloring book or painting a landscape. Art, the word art encompasses everything that you do that's creative. And art as an expression, as an outlet, as a therapeutic means to help you daily is a wonderful thing. That's a great segue into you, Karen. Tell us about the Woodlands Art League and what it is that you're doing with Warriors in Art.
Well, like I said, we've been around since 1981, and our very favorite thing to do year-round is to find other nonprofits that we can work collegially with and we can partner with to bring good to our community. This project that we're doing with the veterans and Michael, it's a take on the Singing Tree Project. Many people have heard of it, many people have not, but it's based on Katie Sheridy's book called The Singing Tree. And it's about a story that takes place during World War I in Hungary. And as that war progresses, destroying much of Europe, the family central to the story finds that their uncle is sent home. And he is sent home because he is suffering from what used to be called shell shock back in those days. And he's sent home, and I'm not sure what to do with him, but they think sending him home will help him recover. And the doctors decide, he can't go back because his mind can only take so much horror, and he was at his limit. And so in the spring of 1918, he begins to tell the story of this tree to his family. It was an apple tree, and he and his friend soldiers spotted it in the middle. It was standing alone in the middle of a very barren landscape, torn by the war. It was simply standing there on that night. The soldiers had crawled for hours on their bellies to escape that enemy, and everything around them had been destroyed by the war. When the dawn came, that's when they saw this tree. It was just one tree that was happy and healthy and sitting there alive, and birds from hundreds of miles away who aren't normally together were all in that tree singing a song that had never been heard before. And that is, the project is based on this, the singing tree. We attempt to create a mural, to create a conversation that transforms the greatest challenges a community is facing by drawing on the genius and wisdom of that community to envision a shared vision of success. So that's why the warriors in Art and Michael and Linda are so good for us, such a perfect fit. If you can imagine a tree, we are going to do some as yet unidentified things around the trunk, but the tree is going to have many, many leaves. And while plants can change, at this point, the leaves are all going to be dog tags. So we are asking veterans to come and help paint and design the tree at the Waterway Festival. Any veterans or their families or survivors that have mementos from the war. I have my father's discharge papers. If you have anything at all, don't bring anything original. Take a picture and bring it with you, and we're going to be putting those in honor all over the tree and in another design that we have. Now, the project itself is 3 doors. It's 3 doors because the doors represent, as Michael said, the doors are wonderful because sometimes we keep doors shut when we come home, and sometimes we're unwilling.
Hang on a second. Hey, Dick, do we have the pictures of those doors there that I sent over?
Yeah, we're loading them right now on a slideshow for our viewers.
Outstanding.
So-
I love having video. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So sometimes doors keep us enclosed because we're trapped in the past. And sometimes we keep the door shut because of our unwillingness to adapt or venture out into a new life, but the door remains. It doesn't go away. It's always waiting to give us the opportunity to grow forward. Our earth, we talk about the earth when we're talking about these doors, that our earth features prominently in areas of conflict, and we've talked about that, and our earth is rare and precious. And we've been to these places of war to shelter those at home. A tree is made from uniform scraps, medals, ribbons, photos, letters, poems, memories of service, and the tree is where we have grown from. It's our place of survival, and it's formed of memories.
I want to make sure that I understand this correctly. So, Kelly, you guys have what's called the Woodlands Waterway. I can't.
Yes.
Please help me out here.
The Woodlands Waterway Art Festival, right? It's our 14th year. It's an annual art festival. It's a juried art festival, so it's a fine art festival. We have over 200 artists we have people that apply, and then 200 artists get accepted, and so that's what we'll be featuring at the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival. So this little element is our community art project, which brings together the nonprofit. It brings together our community art or charity art partner, the Woodlands Art League, and the community to work on this art project while you're at the festival.
Okay, so I want to make sure so you guys have the festival, and we're going to talk about this festival, so don't go anywhere. You guys have this festival that you put together, and you've contacted the Woodlands Art League, who's
Doing the project.
doing a project with the Warriors
Yes.
in art.
Got it.
Now, Michael, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay, so Warriors in Art, you guys working with the Woodlands Art League, you have this project, the Peace Tree, and I've seen it starting. And for you guys that are watching and listening on Facebook, you'll probably see the slides that we took while we were down there, whether we're working on this. You're asking for veterans, excuse me, to put together some mementos and send them up to you. So how can they get hold of you, Michael?
So, I mean, I am we use email for everything. So it's my name, which is Michael.Reynolds, just like the aluminum foil. We make it real easy. Just Reynolds, like Reynolds Wrap, at warriorsandart.org. So all the submissions for digital, digital copies of mementos of service can be sent there. And we'll also be putting up on our website our address where we can accept, if you want to send anything in. We're going to be doing that here in Houston as well. We'll be putting out bins at some local VSOs. We're a Houston-based nonprofit. We're just now starting to partner with folks in Montgomery County. So I'm not sure where we'll have anything out there, but the best way would be to email me, and we can. I love talking to all of our veterans anyway, so we can kind of arrange it that way.
And Mike, last night I sent you over a link to Dropbox. I put a bunch of black and white photos from Vietnam,
Right.
that were sent over to me by Mr. David Page. Thank you, David. Please feel free to use them. This is, for my good listeners out there, this is something that you want to get involved in. I think Warriors in Art is a great organization because it allows you, it gives you the opportunity, and stop me where I go wrong, Michael. This is free of charge. It allows you, its space is limited, it allows you to take your creativeness and apply it into a medium that you're comfortable with. Now, Mike specifically does oil arts, paintings, sketchings, things of that nature, and he teaches you the basics of that. And you need that to do anything art-wise. I consider myself a kind of creative guy. As most of you know, I run a side business. I have a photography studio, and I create art for the sake of art. Art is subjective, first off. Second, its value is an individual's interpretation. When you create art, you're taking a piece of yourself, your feelings, your angst, your love, whatever it is, and you're putting it into a medium, hoping that somebody else, when they gaze upon that, can appreciate that and finds value in it. Which brings us all the way back to Kelly, because they are putting together, along with their partners, the Woodlands ART League, and partnering with Warriors in Art, a show, a festival. It's a 2-day festival down in the waterway, in the Woodlands. Tell us about this. When is it, and where can they find more information about
It's
this?
right along the waterway. Beautiful waterway is the backdrop. It's April 13th and 14th. Again, it's our 14th year. You can go onto our website and get all the information about performers and our 4 stages. And
Wait a second, performers, it's not just pictures?
no, it's not just artists. So yeah, we have 4 stages of entertainment. We have family activities. We have a culinary art stage. We're doing
Oh, wait, is that free? Is that free tasting there?
sampling. Yes, there's a lot
Oh,
of
I'm
sampling,
definitely gonna be
a lot
there.
of sampling on site. And one of the new things that we kind of put a fresh twist on this year is a spotlight on Mexico. So we're going to do a cultural exhibit that will be the spotlight on Mexico, where you're going to be able to celebrate the vibrancy of Mexico through art, food, music. So that's another great attraction this year that's going to make it a special event. And you can go to www.thewoodlandsartscouncil.org for all the information.
And this is April 13th and 14th. So this is moving up quick on you guys, Michael and Karen. This is coming quick. You have to get that project done and dried and mounted. And wow.
We do. And that's one of the things we really want is our veterans in the area or their families.
Absolutely.
Come and help us. Come and help us do the project and put things up that day at the festival.
Well, as I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it. I have actually 3 listeners, and one of them happens to be my wife. Hey, baby, I love you. But we have a large following on Facebook and our YouTube channels. So here's your opportunity. Veterans, all you guys and gals out there, they're going, I do this or I do that. This is the way I express myself. If you are not in contact with the Woodlands Art League and I'm going to mispronounce your organization again, the Woodlands Waterway Arts Festival. You need to. They are actively looking for volunteers, people to do things that they can't do themselves, and you need to get involved with this. So again, flash up that Michael's contact info slide again. Contact Michael or contact Karen. Excuse me. Karen, how can they contact you?
Well, I can tell you how they'll contact me through the WAL website, but we actually have a chairperson of this project that has all the information.
Lay it on us.
And her name is Brenda McDougall, and I will give you her email. She's very sweetly known as the Yaki Artist, YAKI artist @gmail.com.
Outstanding. I got about, 5 minutes before I have to go to break? Hey, got a lot of time. So let's assume that this project with Warriors in Art actually gets done on time. Having produced art on a deadline myself, we always have to presume it actually gets done on time. Now, I don't want to throw a monkey wrench into your works there, Maureen, but, adapt and overcome. So it gets done.
Yes, sir.
What happens to the piece after it's done?
The piece is going to become the property of Warriors in Art, and they're going to be able to use it and display it at anywhere they would like.
So this piece, Mike, it's going to be at the festival, right, Kel?
Yes, it'll be completed at the festival.
This is going to be completed at the festival.
That's why we're asking volunteers.
Right.
So it's not a finished piece when it gets out there. You'll still be working on it, Michael.
Right. That's why we're asking for folks to come by the festival on the 13th and 14th. So if you don't have a chance to send us those mementos, you don't have a chance to, get in touch with us beforehand, just come to the festival and stop by the booth. You don't even have to be a veteran. If you know a veteran, somebody that's served, come by. We're gonna have baskets of dog tags. So like said earlier, the dog tags are gonna be part of our leaves that are hanging from the branches of this tree, and people can come by and write a name on one of those dog tags, and they can become a part of that tree, or they could come by and leave, a photo or a picture or, some cloth from a uniform, whatever that is, that's, indicative of service for them or for their family. And we will affix that to our trees. So it really is sort of this literal interpretation of being a part of a community. We're actually taking all of these pieces of service from the people that are there at the festival, and also from people who send stuff in to make this, this art piece. And then it's going to live on in perpetuity, where we can, show it at various VSOs. We plan on expanding some, art exhibitions and things for veteran artists here in the Houston area in the upcoming year. So, that will be around. We will certainly, display it in the Woodlands as well, as something that, it can represent this project, but we're not going to keep it in a storage closet somewhere. We want it to be displayed. So somebody wants to call us and say, hey, we're having a veteran, a community event. We would like to have this, displayed. I hope that we can get it as much exposure as possible.
That's great. I didn't really understand the concept here of what you guys are trying to put together. Even though I went down to the studios in the Woodlands, or the studios in the woods, studios in the woods?
Studio in the Woods, and
Studio in the Woods.
you came down to the pouring party.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was great. I liked it. I wanted to get involved, but I said, nah, I'm better not, stumbling around as it is. But I like this idea of that you have. This is kind of like creating art on the go. So we come down, pass by the booth there, and we go, you know what? I wanna put some dog tags on the tree. Now, for me, I would put I would, to honor my father. As everyone knows in the interviews and whatnot, I come from a long background of service in my family, and I would put my father's dog tags up there, but I wouldn't want to put his dog tags up there. I mean, these,
Right.
Mike, you understand. You're a
No,
fellow
we're not
veteran.
asking.
You know,
That's
that-
why we're using blanks. We're going to have a basket of dog tag blanks and a way for people to write,
That's fantastic.
that name. Even if they don't want to put somebody's name, they just want to put a period of service or something. Service is different for different people, and it means different things to different people. And So we just want you to come and be a part of that, in whatever way. If you're comfortable with doing that, if you just want to come down and see it, you just want to talk and fellowship with some other veterans, man, that's really what it's all about.
That's good. Listen, we need to take a break because we got to do news and traffic. Can I do weather? Can I do weather? This is Doug Burrell reporting from Lone Star Community Radio Station on the weather in Conroe. It's bright and sunny and frigidly cold. Turn on your fireplace. There, the weather's done for you, Dick. We have to take a short break. Station identification, traffic, and news. We're going to come back. Mike, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the festival and how to get there and get to the festival, and the things about the festival, because I want everyone to come out and see Warriors in Art at the festival. We'll be right back.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
What is homelessness? Have you seen parents struggle to find a job without having transportation or childcare? What about the children sleeping in cars with nothing to eat? Families shouldn't have to struggle to survive, and children should not be homeless. Family Promise of Montgomery County serves the needs of homeless families and their children. Learn about ways you can help and learn about partnership opportunities at www.familypromiseofmc.org or call our day center at 936-441-8778.
You are listening to Veterans Air on IRLoneStar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1.
Welcome back to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour. You're live with Douglas B. And my guests for today are Michael Reynolds from Warriors in Art, Kelly Morris from the Woodlands ART League, Karen Morris from the Woodlands ART League, and Kelly Batterson from the Woodlands Art Council. Kelly, so
Yes.
we've been talking on and off for the past 30 minutes or so about this festival down on the Waterway in the Woodlands, April 13th and 14th. It's called the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival.
Yes.
Did I do it right?
You did it right. For
I
once,
get-
yes.
yeah. I have a hard time. As everyone knows, when I'm wearing my dentures, my teeth today, and I'm wearing them just for you ladies. I have a hard time with speaking with this. So it's April 13th and 14th.
Yes.
What time?
Saturday, 10 to 6, and Sunday, 10 to 5. And it runs pretty much along the waterway from the Marriott all the way down to Grogan's Mill Road, and then also Olive Town Green Park.
And how do I get in?
We have 4 gates that you can get in. So our main gate is at Lake Robbins, right across from the HEB, right into Town Green Park. That's our main entrance.
Standing.
Plenty of free parking in the area.
Does it cost me anything?
It does, yes. There, we do have a ticketed gate, so you can go online and buy tickets.
Where
right
do
now.
I go online? Tell me again.
www.thewoodlandsartscouncil.org.
Outstanding. And I can buy the tickets. And if you're a procrastinator like I am, and say that I'm going to go online and do it and never do, I can get tickets at the gate,
You
right?
can get tickets at the gate, yes.
Danny.
And children 12 and under are free.
My wife says I act like 12. Does that count?
No.
No.
Doesn't
no.
count.
Okay. Looks like I got to pay. It's okay. I don't mind. Listen, guys, this is great. I didn't know this existed before, and I've been here since '99. I had no idea this existed. Do you guys advertise or something?
14 years, yes, we do.
Hey, can we get a PSA for them or something?
For sure.
See,
Would
told you.
love that. Thank you. We'd appreciate that.
This is great. We do a lot of, we're a veterans programs. Everybody knows, we talk about vets. But rarely do we come across something like this where what veterans do to express themselves can be put out into the community. Now, I was talking a little bit with Karen last weekend. I was down at the pouring. Just like Mike, art is for the Woodlands Art League not just about painting.
Oh, correct. Yes. This is about community. This is about helping each other in our community to thrive and to be there for each other and to support each other. I had the privilege of being downtown at Up Art, where Warriors in Art is kind of housed right now. And the open house was amazing. And I got to meet and talk to some of the veterans. And I know at least one of them that's starting tonight. And you can certainly see.
Starting tonight. Mike, you know what we forgot?
What did you forget?
We forgot about when your classes are.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Take it away. Tell us about it.
well, like was said, we are being housed in Up Art Studio in downtown Houston. We're on the corner of Main Street and Commerce, right where the old spaghetti warehouse is. And we're lucky enough to have this wonderful community art studio house us for our classes. So we're going to have 6 to 8 veterans starting our very first skills-based art program. You talked about art being a therapeutic mode, and I absolutely agree with you, but I want to give tools. You know, the therapeutic aspect, I think, is a positive byproduct of that. But I want to be able to have veterans come in and learn a new tool and skill. Now, whether they take that to just be a way to express themselves in their day-to-day life, whether that opens new doors to creative careers, because they exist, you know, and I think we hamstring ourselves in the veteran community to thinking that we're not creative. We are some of the most creative and asymmetrical thinkers based upon where we've been in the world and what we've had to do. And the fact that we're not doing more creative careers, I think, is a disservice. So we start this evening from 6 to 8. We'll have 6 to 8 veterans in here, and they're going to get, once a week, they're going to come in and get 2 hours of professional art instruction.
Wow. And how long are these classes? How long do they run?
They run for 2 hours. And right now we've only got the one, you know, but as we get more interest in these classes, we will start filling out more seats. And the cool thing is we have structured it to where the veteran comes in. I don't need you to bring any supplies. I don't need you to bring anything but yourself and an open mind. Come in. We'll teach you. We'll give you all your tools and supplies. And when it's done, you can take all that with you. So they're going to be taking home about $700, $800 worth of supplies, you know, so that they can take those tools home and use them. So it's not just, hey, come and hang out for a couple of hours and we'll do a wine tasting and a painting. It's no, we're going to dig into some stuff. We're going to let you learn some fundamentals. And then I want to see some conceptualization of your service experience in whatever medium you want to work with. But we're going to provide as many tools as possible to make that happen.
Let me give you a punch up here. Obviously, Warriors in Art nonprofit is spending a lot of money to help these veterans out and give these classes. So if you feel so to donate, please donate at warriorsinart.org. I think that if you have a special veteran out there, that you could probably even sponsor one of those veterans. I'm sure Mike will help you out there. And listen, while we're talking about giving some monies away, I want to go on back to Karen and Kelly here. Both of these organizations are nonprofit, and I know that the Woodlands Art League also gives classes, because he told me I can come down there and take classes.
Yes, we did. Yes, we have classes going every day on multiple locations: oil painting, acrylic painting, jewelry making, silk, painting on silk. We have all kinds of things that people are interested in. Creation in somebody's soul just comes out in their own unique way. And we try to meet as many of those as possible. We'll have somebody come in and say, I'm a great fiber artist and I've been doing this for years. And we look at their work and they say, could I do a class for you? And we're like, sure. And we open it up to the community. But absolutely, you can.
Jewelry making.
And now,
hey,
let me jump in real quick. So I've also been told, I know we are based in downtown, and that's kind of a stretch for some folks. But we've been told that the Woodlands Art League will help us out with teaching space, if I get enough veterans in the Montgomery County area that are interested in doing one of these classes, we can set something up in Montgomery County and get that going. So it's not such a haul to get to downtown. I'm totally open to that. I'm all about stretching this as far as we can.
And we've agreed, the Woodlands Art League would love to have vets coming in, and we've agreed to give them a discount membership and find some seats for them in our workshops and our classes. So we would love to see them coming.
We might have to get together. DV Tanya from Bitter Glitter. She makes. We're starting a new line. They're starting a new line called baking jewelry. And they put baking inside of acrylic, and they make jewelry pieces out of it. And it's a terrorist charm. Yeah, we're ultra conservative here.
Michael, if I can ask you, I made reference earlier when I was young and growing up, people that came back from World War I, World War II were said to be suffering from shell shock.
Mm-hmm.
And then many years later, after several other aphorisms, it became PTSD. And you and I were talking about how that's evolving now.
I think, it's still common. It is a psychological disorder. I'm comfortable saying that that's part of my medical retirement. I suffer from PTS or PTSD. But in a lot of circles, we're starting to look at this disability as more of, an opportunity for growth. And I think you can look at many disabilities and if you want to reframe it that way, you can. So we're kind of starting to call that post-traumatic growth. You can either stay in that really dark and negative space and, certainly understand what that is, but the opportunity for growth out of that is there. And, we're offering these classes to any veterans, so I don't want to get that confused, but it is a wonderful vehicle to kind of tell those stories so that other people can understand. When you're on an island, it's a whole lot more difficult. But when you have a community, when you have people around you that can at least try and understand, it makes things a little more palatable, when you're dealing with that.
Well, as I'm part of the Military Veterans Peer Network, and hi, Ashley. And one of the first things that I tell my veterans that I deal with is the first thing that you have to recognize, PTSD is not a disability. You're not disabled. You're thinking in one mode. Kind of consider yourself that you're in the bottom of the hole and you keep shoveling. The first thing you got to do is when you're in a hole and you can't get out is stop digging it deeper. You have to find avenues to be able to climb out. There's no special pill. The VA is not going to give you a special skittle to make you be better. No one's going to give you a self-help class to reaffirm who you are. All these things, all this growth comes from within inside of you. But that being said, you have to have a vehicle. You have to have some method to crawl out of that hole. But you have to realize, first off, that you're in the hole. Art is a wonderful expression, a wonderful vehicle, if you will. It's very therapeutic. I just finished a piece this morning I call Lady of Shadows. I'll send it over to you, Mike. It's kind of dark,
Great.
but it's in its expression. Nobody needs to understand your artistic expression except for you. But you know what? If you understand your art, somebody else out there really does. We have to do my announcements for the community and then get the heck out of here. I really want to thank you, Mike, for being here. And again, we're going to flash up Mike's contact information. You're a veteran and you're looking for some artistic expression. You need to learn about color and light. See the light. My guru, when I was learning photography, that was his mantra. Learn to see the light. Contact Mike over at Warriors in Art. I also want you to contact Karen Morris over at the Woodlands Art League. And Karen, tell us again, what was your website?
Well, it's the woodlandsartleague.org. And if they go on there and they look at officers, they'll see one called Brenda McDougall, and her email is yakiartist@gmail.com. And you can also certainly contact me. You will find both of us on there.
I want you to contact them. I don't care whether you're a veteran or you're not a veteran. Go do something artsy today. Go do something different, Arts today. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for telling us about the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival, April 13th and 14th at the woodlandsartcouncil.org to get more information. You're going to get us a PSA, and we're going to get it out here on the radio station
Absolutely.
and on my YouTube channel.
I'll do it.
I expect to see everybody out there. You know what? Veterans Air is going to come out there. We're going to, I'm going to get Dan. We're going to go out there with our selfie stick, and we're going to videotape this, put it on our YouTube channel. I've never been out there. That's really great. Yes, absolutely.
The last thing I want to add, I don't think either Michael or I mentioned, was if you can come to a class in the Woodlands Art League. I noticed at the open house downtown that a number of these vets have service animals, and they are welcome. If you come to a class, we absolutely will make them as welcome as you.
Hey, you heard that, Divy Tanya? She says we can bring the Apex Predator posse to learn how to make jewelry correctly. You laugh. I'm going to go over to my Facebook and check out the pictures of my Apex Predator posse. They're Apex Predators with frou-frou tails. I have to do my announcements, don't I? And close out and thank my sponsor. If I don't thank my sponsors, they're not going to pay for the show anymore. So I do want to thank my sponsor, East Meets West Productions. East Meets West Productions is a full-service business and marketing consulting firm that's helping vets start and fund their own businesses for over 25 years. For more information, visit eastmeetswestproductions.com or call 361-904-0044. Also, I want to give before I get into announcements, I want to talk about me, because I love talking about me. Listen, no, here on Veterans Air, we've done something that I think is absolutely fantastic. Does everybody know who Gary Sinise? Thank you. I can never say it.
Sinise.
Gary Sinise is. If you don't, he's Lieutenant Dan, and he is a great American, and he wrote a book. And believe it or not, Veterans Air was able to get a signed copy from Gary himself, and we are going to be giving this away, but you got to do something for it. Being this is Veterans Air, I'm going to make you do something for that, and we're going to talk about that coming up on our Facebook and YouTube channels, but you can grab a copy, you can win a copy of Gary Sinise's, say it again for me.
Gary Sinise.
Thank you. Gary Sinise's book, autographed by him. Also, if you go on over to our Facebook page or our website, www.VeteransAir.us/for sale, you'll see some great things for sale there for all you hunters out there. Thank you, Mary. So let's talk about what's going on this month. First off, this is coming from both of the Ashleys over at the Tri-County Behavioral Health. They are trying to raise funds for many of their programs this year for veterans, and they're going to do that by having a dinner over at Panera Bread on March 6th between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Go over to our website, download the PDF, bring that with you. This is being done on the College Park Drive Panera Bread that's down in the Woodlands. It's Conroe, but we call it the Woodlands. It's 3113 College Park Drive in the Woodlands between 5:30 and 7 p.m. Go on down there, have dinner, bring this PDF with you, and a portion of your bill is going to go to help out Tri-County Behavioral Health Veterans Programs. That's both of our Ashleys, Ashley Taylor and Ashley Hubbard. Thank you very much. Also, there is, during the month of March, the Tri-County Behavioral Health will be hosting a pottery class for 15 veterans. 15 veterans, a pottery class. So I want you to give them a call or go over to their website, Tri-County Behavioral Health, or contact one of the Ashleys at Ashley HU at tcbhc.org for more information about that dinner at Panera Bread tomorrow, or going to one of the pottery classes. Are your teeth falling apart? Yes, matter of fact, they are. And if you're a veteran and you use the VA services and you do have dental as part of your services, you know that you have to travel yourself all the way down to downtown Houston, over to the VA center down there and get your teeth done. But you don't have to do any more. Guess what? The Conroe VA Clinic now has dental services available. You can get your teeth done here in Conroe. For more information, head on over to the Michael E. DeBakey VA website or call over to the Conroe website and check it out to see if you're eligible for dental services here in Conroe. Don't let your teeth fall out. You're going to miss them when they're gone. What else do we have? We have something else happening. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Our dear friends at the American Legion Post 411. Hi, guys. How you doing? They are going to have their yearly garage sale this year, Saturday, May 4th. Now, I bring this up so early because they need donations, and this year you can buy a booth there. It's going to be inside at the outlets at Conroe Mall. Our friend Alexandra up there, thank you so much. They're going to have their annual garage sale, the American Legion, Post 411, at 1111 League Line Road, Suite 144, Saturday, May 4th, between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. It's indoors, so it's rain or shine. They're selling 10 by 10 booths, which all goes to a good cause, of course. And they need donations, so please contact your local Legionnaire to find out more information on this. How am I doing for time? Am I going to go over? Am I going to be under? I'm going to be dead on today. Damn, good. I got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes left. I'm damn good. All right. So I'm going to use up 30 seconds of this 2 minutes so we can listen to the Warrior song, because you know that is our trademark here to do the Warrior songs. So that about wraps up our show. But I want you to tune in April 2nd at 1 p.m. for a special Veterans Air It's Time to Pay Your Taxes show. And me and Dan, we might even have a surprise or two for you for those people that are like me and wait until the last minute to file your taxes. That's our show for today. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something. We're on Facebook. Dick will have this up on the website in a couple of days. Share it with all your friends and family. And I want to leave you with this awesome song by the Warrior Song Project. You can go ahead and download this from VeteransAir.us or on iTunes. And as always, while we're listening, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that today are standing in harm's way for our freedoms and for our liberty. If you today are wearing that uniform, I want to say thank you. I want to say I'm proud of you. Until next month, stay vigilant, stay safe. You're listening to Veterans Air.
Machine with a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me, 'cause I'll win, I'm a